Oh boy, I see. Your testimony, please. Look, if they already lied, why would you continue to ask them for their testimony? The other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security camera and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. You dispose of the evidence? Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny, only just remembered it. Right, anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Of course she deleted the photo. The other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. Oh wait, I didn't go back, go back. Another job? That's right, I check all the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that security camera takes. Do you back up all of the security camera data? Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces for the most part. For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag. Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Who in the heck was in the photo you erased? I'm a fanboy. A fanboy? A fanboy? Still samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me. That's not suspicious? They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day. Wait a second, didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in, those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. Jesus. This is awful. This is unbelievable. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside and well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain. I told you they were freaks. Oh, and? They're kids, children, whippersnappers. Kids? So on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably second or third grade. Why would you erase that? How is that not suspicious? Second or third grade. What? Order! Let me get this straight. You saw two people pass by the gate on their way to the studio that day. No, she didn't see them. She wasn't looking. She was looking at... She was eating donuts. The computer caught them. The camera caught them. One was the steel samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about second or third grade. Oh yes, well we see his type there every day. Every day? You have people breaching your security every single day? Can't stop him, can't catch him. A boy in second or third grade, I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think, it's quite heavy. Right, as I said, I didn't pay much mind. How is this... There's no... This is so stupid. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? Exactly. I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. October 18, 11:08 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Mr. Powers! Yes. Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio. I didn't go to the studio, I was sleeping, honest. So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo? How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You should take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. Sniff. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick! What are we gonna do? First we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. He just blames some random person. Right. And it will take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. There's no way. Hey Nick, it's time! Okay, let's go. Sigh. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. Sniff. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Yeah, your thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there's still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. Could that be a 10-year-old boy? He's looking that way. What if the 10-year-old boy is behind him? There. Why is he looking down like that? Also, if the spear was broken, would it be strong enough to kill the other guy? The card key was in the room. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order! Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? The assistant girl, the grade school boy, the security lady. The assistant? The grade school boy, security lady. I mean, the security lady wouldn't have done it because she likes the guy. Wouldn't have killed him. Or maybe she's crazy. I think these are all. I don't think it matters what we choose here. The grade school boy has motive. The grade school boy, because he's like a 10-year-old kid, he might think like he's helping the samurai defeat the magistrate. Like, he might think it's real. The grade school boy might have motive. But the assistant girl, I forgot what she said. She was like around cleaning props and stuff, but she was not a... She's missing from a lot of this. Like, we don't know where she's been. The grade school boy. It was the grade school boy. I think they all are possible. Dot 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 dot. Why isn't anyone saying anything? Bah! Are you seriously suggesting the boy did it, Mr. Wright? Grade school boy kills veteran action star with spear. For one thing, the murder weapon was with the steel samurai. Would you care to explain just how the boy would have obtained it from him? Maybe that was a dumb move on my part. Maybe, how about absolutely, Nick? Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I have to penalize you as I warned. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. May we move on, Mr. Wright? Girl, this fight isn't over yet. If you would, Your Honor, one more chance, please. Very well, go ahead. So who is this person other than Miss Powers who could have committed the murder? The assistant girl. It does matter, I thought it didn't matter. It was the assistant! The steel samurai costume was in his dressing room. She stole it, and in doing so she became the steel samurai. So you're saying the steel samurai in the picture is really the assistant? That's correct, Your Honor. If you're serious, you've got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember the photo? Wasn't the steel samurai a little lame? He was dragging his foot. Oh, uh-oh, bad feeling this time. Remember the testimony concerning Powers' injury? Powers and poor Hammer were at the run-through. Oh, and me. What about the assistant? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops. I failed twice. She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. The assistant knew nothing of Mr. Powers' injury. She could look the steel samurai look with that costume. But she couldn't walk the samurai walk. She wouldn't have limped. That can't take the legs out in that case. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I have to penalize you as I've warned. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. May we move on, Mr. Wright? Girl, this fight isn't over yet. If you would, Your Honor, one more chance, please. Very well, go ahead. Oh my god. Alright, the security lady. It was the security lady! Win the old bag! Who? The steel samurai is dragging his leg in the picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about the morning's injury. And maybe because they have been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, old bag. What? Whippersnapper. I don't know, I don't think so? Order! Is this true, old bag? Old bag! That's Miss Old Bag to you. Miss Old Bag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself, in other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the steel samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Yeah, exactly, why? No, this is so stupid. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the steel samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I don't see how this is any more plausible than any of the other ones. Anyway. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. I don't agree with this. Oh yeah, right there. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby, no. Question mark. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection? And some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? ... The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it, is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something. What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. I don't actually think she did it. Keep going, a brick. I guess this does kind of make it look like she's the killer. Funny, I feel bad for her all of a sudden. It's true that the witness could conceivably have committed this crime. Yet we must not forget that the victim was an action hero. As formidable as her personality may be, I doubt she'll be strong enough. Uh-oh, if he removes her from consideration, that means Mr. Power is it. Sorry, Windbag, but I don't have a choice. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to Miss Poor Hammer? Yeah, exactly. She doesn't have motive. She doesn't have motive. You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. What an asshole. I didn't know. There's no way. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler though, as you said, 2nd or 3rd grade, was it? That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin an old man in 10 seconds, tops. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright. That boy is not the killer, isn't he? What? How can you be so sure? Oh, or is it be nice to the kids and mean to your elders day, whippersnapper? I have proof. Proof? Indeed? Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed the murder. Yeah, why? What is the proof? Is it the photo? The card key. He doesn't have card key. The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key? I see. Well, that would the witness care to comment on this? Imp. The Windbag, speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy. What's her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned. Windy Oldbag. Wait a second! I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree, me. I'm talking. Alright, good, talk. Oh great, start the presses. The Windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? By whom? Huh, you mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. My lips were sealed. Okay, well, let's keep going. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. Oh. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Good. Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? She's guilty of perjury, by the way. Isn't it? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. ... Oh, no, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Oldbag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. My lips were sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. So you were told not to talk. That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs no less. Why didn't I hear about this? Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. Who were these people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters. They were all there. The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of the action scene without a director? Of course! Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it. No, we asked you. We asked you multiple times who was there. So where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Yes, there was. Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path there where the monkey's head was falling over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but... Continue! They said they had nothing to do with it, see? Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder. I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side. Okay, convincing, I see. So you got your bonus and you still talked. I think I've asked all the questions I have to ask. No, I just want to see what she says. Global Studios want to keep quiet about something. So you were told not to talk. That's right, by the studio and TV bigwigs. Okay, we've gone through all this. Some other people, they said they had nothing to do with it. So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. So they were actually in the studio? Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came. Grumble, I'll kill this woman, I swear it. I feel sorry for Edgeworth, almost. She really left them hanging on this one. But if you're going to go accusing me of not letting them get away scot-free... Them? Who were these people? Well, the director and the producer for starters. The director? Alright, we've heard this before. Alright, take a break. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at the Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. ... I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Jesus. I don't know. It's entertaining, but I don't believe any of it. All of it is just implausible. Anyway. October. It's like I've said it before. It's entertaining, but it's like you know you're being lied to, because none of this is plausible. October 18, 1:04 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Oh, really? It's nothing. Grin. Oh, or should I sniff? We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this producer, this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So Nick, have we figured out just who was in that steel samurai costume? No. Could it really have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, exactly, I don't think it's her either. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I feel kinda sorry for her, don't be. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks guys. I mean... Alright, let's save the game. Take a brief break.